meets the sea. Catching fish is where I'll be, come rain or sunny skies. I'm gonna grab my fishing line, yes, we're taking out some time. That's fishing. This has been a fishing tale, just like Jonah and the whale. No place I'd rather be. Yes, we're casting out a line, everybody's feeling fine. That's fishing. That's fishing.
Well, g'day.
Yeah, that's fishing.
Okay, wait. Zip.
Well, g'day guys, welcome to That's Fishing. Today we're doing something a little bit different today. We're down here with Don at Warneet Tackle, well not really tackle shop, You're down at the boat ramp. But Don has a little tackle shop here and we're going to go and take you inside and just have a little bit of a look at that. But while we're mainly here today is to show you the boat ramp, because a lot of you guys are a little bit wary about coming down here. And believe you me, you can have, what size boats you can launch here?
Oh, at least up to 8-9 metres.
8-9 metre boats. So this myth of it's a real bad place to launch from, it is a myth. And we're going to go and show you some of the facilities around here.
Yep.
And we're going to take you guys inside the shop. I nearly mucked all that up. Take you guys inside the shop and just show you inside the shop. And we've also got a bit of a special guest down here today. Paul Carter, who's our guru of squid fishing, is going to teach us a little bit about squid fishing while we're down here. Unfortunately, the weather isn't the best today, but Paul's going to go through some of the stuff for us.
Techniques and
that.
Yep.
But you also have this every so often, don't you? Down here, you have a few people come down here.
yeah,
and
no,
do a few little
we
talks.
do a fair bit, and especially with kids that come down as well. And we show them because we've got the pier here, so we can show them and a few things and set up a few rods and reels and help
good
them out
for all
that
the
way.
land-based guys too, because you want to come down here and do some fishing, night fishing, squid fishing. There's all sorts of stuff out here. You even catch your occasional snapper out here.
Yeah, you can get like a few whiting, you can catch your gummies, you can catch snapper, you can trevally. It's endless.
It is.
Just put a bit of time in, a bit of early, and
all right. Now, before the rain really comes down on and it's coming at us, let's go down and have a quick look at the boat ramp. All right? How's that?
Yep,
let's
go.
Right, guys. As you can see, this ramp is more than big enough to cater for all your boats. Everything up to an 8-metre boat. And it's a high tide here today, mate. Huge. I don't know what the problem is.
2 hours either side of the tide, and you'll get your 6-7 metre boats all
2
day
hours.
long.
2 hours.
That's all you need.
Either side of the tide, and you're pretty right.
You're definitely not a drama. We got a lot of late model boats come through here. Look, 2 hours plus. Why would you come in on low tide?
Oh, exactly right, to be out.
One of your best fishing out there is low tide.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, guys, there's also a really big pier to our left, which we're going to show you all about that in a minute anyway. But we've got to be a little bit quicker today because we've got this big rain front coming at us. And Don, to be honest, I don't want to get wet, mate.
It's only water.
I didn't bring my jacket. And it's so cold out here too, guys. So, as you can see, we're not mucking around. You can bring your boat down here and launch just about any size boat down here.
If you have any problems, we're more than we'll help them out.
Yeah.
There's no dramas.
If you're not sure about backing down your boat into the water, or you're not sure of the ramp, I know Don, if he's here, will definitely come and help you for sure. Absolutely.
No dramas.
All right, guys, I'm getting out of the rain. Right now, Don, the rain has finally stopped. It's been 4 cups of coffee, a pie, and donuts, bag of lollies, and the rain stopped. It's not like I don't need it.
Neither do I.
But as you can see, guys, the ramp got a beautiful pier here for tying up your boats or retrieving your boats. Also for you land-based guys, there's big, massive, long pier behind us, and it's quite deep at the other end of the pier, and you catch off the pier here. There's squid and all sorts of whiting,
mullet, salmon.
Just goes on and on and on, doesn't it?
A large variety.
Yeah.
just bring, with the kids coming down, school holidays, or even
Yeah, never
midweek,
thought of that, yep.
Come and see us, help you out, set up some rigs and things
Yeah.
like that. Where to fish off the pier. Certain areas produces different types of fish each time. So
That's great.
yeah, low or high tide. So
Oh,
yeah.
that's good. Now what we'll do from here, guys, is we'll go inside, we'll have a quick look, and we've got old Paul Carter in there teaching a few people about a few things, about squid jigs, squid rods, all sorts of squid stuff.
Yeah.
Now the only reason we're going to go and ask him, because I'm no good at it, and he's real good at it, so I reckon I'm in front. Now just before we go, guys, now there's a big heap of trucks and excavators and all sorts of things coming down here, and there's some new ramps getting built, is that right?
That's correct. Hopefully by Easter next year,
Yeah.
we'll have all new ramps, longer pontoon, just a few, just ironing out just a few little things. And
Okay,
it
now
won't
how
be
many
long.
more boat ramps is there going to be?
Well, we'll end up with 3 good ramps.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit longer pontoon. So yeah, get the traffic flowing a little bit better for us.
And they're going to be a deeper...
They are going to be a deeper ramp. So
Okay, so all you guys that didn't like this ramp because the gradient's so shallow, there's going to be a lot deeper ramps now.
Yeah.
So I've just seen all the plans, and I'll tell you what, it looks pretty good.
oh, look, once it's finished, it's going to be good.
And
It's a short trip, to some of the best fishing places out there. So
yeah, it is. And literally, guys, I can see Western Port straight out here.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, literally 2 minutes straight out here. So don't be scared. Get down here, see the man,
Yeah.
and he'll help you out and launch a boat. And it's only $10 here to launch?
$10. It's only $10.
$10? Yeah, so it's great. So I reckon before the next rain comes, which I can see over my shoulder, so
We'll head inside.
we'll head inside and there's got to be another 5th cup of coffee for the day.
Or hot chocolate.
A hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh, I might go hot chocolate this time. You're beauty. All right, we'll show you inside the shop now.
See you soon.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Oh, your jacket fell on the floor.
That's fishing. Yeah, that's fishing.
Well, guys, the rain has actually stopped for 5 minutes. I found a jacket in the car. It's
And
cold,
I'm still
Paul.
freezing my proverbials off, Brian. It's bloody cold.
Welcome to Paul. Paul, welcome to That's Fishing again. 'Cause You've
Yeah.
already been on the show a few times.
I have been a couple of times,
Times?
yeah, but a little bit different. This time we're standing on the pier in the middle of winter, freezing.
This is
Yeah,
your
you know
idea.
what's off. So, yeah, we do pull from some squid from here from time to time. We thought we'd give it another bash today and see how we go. We've had a few people around at the store doing some question and answer stuff, so
It's
might
real
have to do
good.
some action with this rod and see if I can get some warmth back into the body.
What I'll do, Paul, is I'll get out of your way because you're much better than this than me. Because you've seen me doing it, it's pretty sad.
Well, it can
Yeah,
be
it's
sad,
sad.
Brian, you admit it.
So I'll get behind the camera and let you do what you
But
do
even more
best.
for a safety point, they call these rods violence jerks for a reason. It's because I'm a bit of a violent jerk with the rod, so from a
All
safe
right.
position.
I'll get behind the camera.
Well, one of the reasons why we do jerk so violently, if you have a look at the shape of the front of that jig there, it's actually a little bit fatter than most of the modern design jigs. And we work them a lot heavier and a lot stronger to get a wider, more pronounced action in the jig. So the idea of these ones is you punch them out, obviously, as far as you can punch them. And you let that jig sink to the bottom. If it's not on the bottom, you're not catching squid, because the squid are going to be on the bottom, and we've got to try and concentrate on where they are. Squid don't have a lateral line, they can't feel the jig, so we need to put it as close to them as we can so they can see it. It's all about the visibility of the jig. Once it's hit the bottom, like I said before, it's a violent jerk. We take up our slack line and you really lay into it. And you'll notice each time I lift the rod, my hand turns. That's because each time I lift the rod to the same point, I'm turning the handle one time, which brings about 50 centimetres of line back onto the reel, which gives the jig a 50 centimetre action each way. And although the wind, the rain, everything's against us here today, we'll give it a crack and see what we can come up with. And there's no pattern to it. You don't have to put 100 cranks into it. You don't have to put 5 into it. Just keep the jig moving so as the squid can see it. But most importantly, you can see we're giving it a lot of time to sink in between. If the jig's not sinking back down to the bottom, like I said before, you're not going to be where the squid are and you're not going to catch the squid. Now here at Warneet, we've got a lot of grass on the bottom, which is where a lot of the squid like to do most of their living or hunting or feeding, which is why we're casting here. One drawback of that is when you bring your jig back a lot of the time, you'll find there's lots of grass hanging off your jig. When you can, guys, get rid of that stuff, because it's like yourself. If you get a hair on a pizza, you're not real keen on eating. It's a bit like the squid jig. If it's got grass on it, the squid aren't real keen to pick it up. We'll pop another one back out there again. I'll just fall short of that boat. Whoop, sorry, folks. I'm going to get in trouble here. Again, wait for it to sink to the bottom. The bottom's where the squid are. And just keep the momentum in the jig. Now you see a lot of people get there really fast, whack, 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 as hard as they can. That's all great, well and good, but I prefer to have a slower, wider action to cover more of that water. It gives the squid a better opportunity to be able to see that jig. Oh, it's not working, I'm still cold. And again, returning that rod to the same position. If you want to work them a bit quicker, by all means, you can work really quick with them. But I prefer with that fatter nose on it to give it a much wider, more pronounced side-to-side action. And there is no absolutes in fishing, whether it be for squid or anything else. There's no set rule. All we can do is give you a guideline of the best way to work, and hopefully it'll improve your catch too. I'll tell you what though, Brian, I'm bloody cold, mate. I think we might have to pack it up in a second and do the Harry Hole.
Well, I'll go second that. I think it's time to get out of here because I am freezing.
And so am I. There's a poor young lady that wants to get out of here because she's looking cold too. So
yes, I reckon we'll go and have a chat to Don in his shop. What do you reckon?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll shout for a coffee, Nakas. Thank you very much.
That'd be the 10th one.
Absolutely.
Catch us. Well guys, here we are. We've sat down, we've worked out everything we need to go, what you reckon we should be doing, and what you guys can come into here and do exactly the same thing. Now we'll just go through a few bits. Right, now we've got our little different books that we were telling you about, so we'll chuck them. And if you're fishing a lot in Western Port, highly recommend to get one of these because all the mud banks, sand banks and all that, and if you're driving around you're really not sure, come and speak to the guys and they'll tell you some good spots as well, hopefully.
Yep, it's actually got GPS marks on it and everything.
It has?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yep. No worries, all right, we'll chuck that in
the top.
when I can get it into the box.
Yep.
And don't forget, we've got our
Leader.
leader material, of course, and 2 different sizes, for depending on what you want. We'll chuck it in.
Yep.
Handy little knife.
Yep.
Nice little knife.
Yep.
And don't get one with a cover.
Yeah, some people like scissors. You can have scissors or knives. Nice and more practical. Use them for bait and for cutting up your rigs and stuff.
Yep.
So,
That's all right. Now, we've got heavy sinkers, light sinkers. Let me just show you. Even though they're pretty weighty, but you put them in like that. Shut the lid, guys. Right, spin your tackle box around, of course. And then they just slide straight in, nice and easy. Just like that.
Yep.
And the same as these ones. See? All your different sizes you need for Port Phillip Bay and Western Port, all in one.
Yep.
So you've only got one small tackle box.
all together.
All together. Just shut that up, and once again, it just slides
Straight
in like
in.
that. Now let's go through a part of this, mate.
Okay, so we've got all of our hooks in here. So as I said, right through from 8/0 circles down to 5/0 octopus hooks.
Yep.
A few different styles in there, but different sizes, 5/0, 6/0, 7/0, 8/0 in circle. And you've got your paternoster rigs or your flasher rigs or your your snapper snatchers. They're called all different names, but ultimately they're just ready to go. So they're in there also ready to go.
Now we've pulled them out of the boxes because if you get 100 different packets of all different flavours of stuff, it's easy just to pull them out, put them in your tackle box, and make sure after you're fishing too, take them out of your tackle box and leave them in your house to dry out because you know what the moisture's like out in
They'll rust if you're not careful. So
absolutely.
all right, so shut that one.
Shut that one. Put it away.
Right, lucky last.
Right, lucky last is the balance of the terminal. We've got over here the twin hook rigs ready to go, pre-rigged.
Yep.
If you can't be bothered tying rigs yourself,
Yep.
or you've got to get rigs straight away,
Right.
they're all ready to go. So twin hook snelled rigs in
Yep.
5.0, 6.0s, there's all different types once again.
That's where your leader comes into it when you're not busy.
Correct.
You can tie some more.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's your easy rigs. So you've got large ones.
Yep.
And smaller ones, depending on where you're fishing. If you're using little sinkers, you only use a little easy rig, and they're obviously coded, being red and blue. Red's small, blue's
Yep.
large.
Yep.
Swivels, so rolling swivels. I like rolling swivels. You can get rolling swivels from anywhere. There's many different types of swivels, but they seem to work really well in Western Port. Snap swivels, you've
Of
got
course.
some crane snaps there if you
What
want to use
size are
those.
these ones?
These are size 3 swivels, so they're rated to about 100 pounds, which is more than anything will ever
Will catch
worry
really.
you. Yeah, definitely.
And you're breaking those over that, well, you've really got the wrong gear.
You're not meant to catch the fish.
Nah, that's right.
So, and the last thing is some glow beads. So soft beads there. What
Yep.
these are handy for is you put them above your swivel. So if you do by chance have someone on your boat that doesn't understand the concept of a swivel hitting the top guide, this will hit it first and it won't damage the fishing
Because it
rod.
pops out the little nylon bush in the front and you don't have a particularly good.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're awesome to put there as well. So
Yep.
that's the last one.
All
Close
right.
him up.
No worries, mate. And we
Close
put it
that.
in there, put all that into there,
Yep.
shut that up.
Yep.
Look at that. How good's that?
Bang.
Time to go fishing, mate.
Happy days. Let's go fishing. Oh well.
No.
Maybe
Nah.
when it's not so windy and raining.
Yeah,
on a
it's
nice
terrible.
day, we'll go fishing and we'll show you how we can use it all.
So next time you see us, guys, we'll be using this gear.
Yep.
And you should be coming out with us.
Definitely.
No more excuses saying you're too busy here, all right?
Okay.
No more.
I'll try.
You try?
I'll try.
All right. Guys, big thanks to Danny for helping us out with the tackle box and all the gear, of course.
Thank you.
And I reckon we put it to really good use now.
Yeah, we'll go and get some gummies and
All
some
right.
snapper.
Thanks, big fella.
Let's go.
And don't forget, www.thatsfishing.com.au. You all right?
Hello.
Yeah. See you.
Ta-da.
Yeah, that's fishing.
Well, guys, here's a perfect example of these guys. Unfortunately, they've been here before, obviously picked the wrong ramp, and Don's down here now telling them how to do it. As you can see, it's not the right thing to do. You don't put your car in the water, and you don't have to put your trailer all the way in the water. I'd suggest, if you're not sure, speak to Don, and he'll help you out. And normally the back rollers, or only a couple of rollers, need to only be in the water, or you go up to your guards. But every trailer and every boat, it's a little bit different. So, perfect example, what not to do, but we're here to give the guys a bit of a helping hand to get them out of the wet and back up onto dry land. Well, guys, it's too cold outside, so we decided to come in. There we go. Look, he keeps on walking away from me. There you go. And this is the little one. Hello.
Fairly.
Hello. Hello to Cameron. Hello. Not allowed to. Oh, I've upset her now. Jeez. No. So when you're down at Warneet, guys, come in, have a look at the shop.
Meet the
Pretty
boss.
good. Meet the real boss. Well, the real boss we're all going to work for. And what we're also going to do too is, me and Paul gave up out in the pier, so Paul's going to do the right thing by us and going to talk about some lures.
So I've been told.
So he's been told. This is completely ad lib, so we don't know what
Thanks
we're
for
doing.
the rush into that
That's
there,
it.
Brian. I'm just going to grab some stuff off your wall now, mate. Well, it's all about... I'm just going to go through a couple of things. We've been pretty lucky in Australia, in general, with the amount of stuff. Look at the stuff on the wall we can actually get out.
I'll get out the way.
However, in the past, we haven't been able to have much input into the stuff that we get on our own shelves. So we had a good chance to sit down with the guys from Japan when they were here last and come up with some Australian only ones. You see the little blue sticker, Australian only colour. And I've been fortunate enough to sit down with these guys myself and say, that's the colour I want, and they've made that colour for us, which is really good. Something in Australia that's been lacking for a long time. It's not like a lot of the other stuff you see that's advertised as Australian only, and it ends up being something just out of a catalogue that Australians have only had a look at for the first time. these are colours that we've actually produced ourselves, and I'll come over and show you a bit clearer. Anyone that's fished the bottom end of Western Port there will probably recognise that as a grass whitey. This one here, if you ever go up to Yamba or somewhere like that and have a look at the prawns, that's about as prawny as you can get. And this one here, I just got a bit pimpy. Anyone that's seen the old red colour of that we had in the past, it used to be matte coloured. I polished that up and put a shrimp on it and made it look really cool. But my favourite one, as I drop it all on the floor, they're the 3 cloth coloured ones that we've got. But my favourite one's this one. I'm going to take it out of the packet.
And he's looking at fish and chips, aren't you, mate?
I'm not bad on the tube.
Wait a sec, Paul. I got one I prepared
Here we
earlier.
go, we got one.
Here's
There's one I prepared earlier.
Now this one looks like a black jig with white print on it. But, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, it's actually red underneath. And it's see-through. So what this does is this makes this a 24-hour-a-day jig. Because if the fish are on the bottom and it's dark and you look up, they get that dark silhouette up against the moonlight. If the fish are above the jig looking down against the weed, they see the white contrast against the ground. And over daytime, when the light comes through and you get that red glow through, again it looks like a natural bait presentation. So that's my new favourite jig.
And it's working well?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, it's been really good so far. So anyone who's been on Facebook and had a look at our photos lately, there's a lot of photos with this up on there. So.
And it's a cloth one too, isn't it? It's not a...
The difference between a cloth and the hard body ones is the cloth actually offers some sort of water resistance.
So it's slowly...
Slow, sinks a lot slower, and the action it gets is a lot more pronounced and wider. Whereas these ones here, I've used this big word before, they're more hydrodynamic, Brian.
Whoa!
If I break all of Tom's
That's
stuff,
good.
I'm sorry.
Give
As you
Tom
can see,
something to
it's
do.
shiny, there's nothing for the water to rub against, there's no feathers, so it's a lot more hydrodynamic, which means it doesn't go as wide and as aggressive. It's actually, it lifts and it's a lot tighter and it's actually more like a natural bait presentation. So
Oh, okay.
that's the difference between a cloth and a hard body one.
I reckon it looks pretty good.
Yeah, you want to have your running shoes on if you put mat in your
I
pocket.
know, I'm in arm's reach, aren't I? You notice I put it that way, not the other way.
Absolutely, it wouldn't be coming out otherwise. So that's what our new Australian stuff is.
Looks good. Well, thanks, Paul, for all that. So any information, guys, go to that'sfishing.com.au. And don't forget to see this bloke here, who keeps walking behind me all the time.
And the boss.
And the boss. Right, so don't forget, get down here to Warneet, guys. See the man. He'll help you out if you're a bit worried about launching the boat as well. So thanks, mate, for letting us embarrass the crap out of you today.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
It was a last minute thing, wasn't it?
It was. I didn't even know. I was going to make myself a coffee and all of a sudden I'm talking about squid jigs. So.
That's it. So get to it, make coffee.
As you can see, Brian's arms are painted on.
And his fingers.
See you.